One of the amazing things you see when you're traveling around this part of Jordan at the southern end of the Dead Sea is that in the wadis and on the mountainsides there are caves all over the place. Some of them you see the Bedouins keep their sheep or their goats in there. Others are free to explore. The one behind me you can't actually get inside because it's fenced off. But according to tradition, this is the cave of the prophet Lot. Not all stories in the Bible are really good news, and you may remember that Lot lived down in the plains and things went wrong. Sodom and Gomorrah were going to be destroyed, and Lot, his wife and daughters were told to flee the city and not look back, and they fled the city. Lot's wife didn't make it. That's another story. She looked back. But Lot ended up in this area with his daughters, and his daughters got concerned that they had nobody to marry, they were going to have no children, there would be no future. So they did something really wrong. They slept with their dad. They got him drunk, he was in the cave, and they slept with him, and they both had children. And interestingly, those two children became two great nations. And we have it there in the Bible, we have it in history, that despite of a great wrong, something that those girls should not have done, something they should have learnt from the experience of living in Sodom and Gomorrah and knowing the wrong that was going on there, something that they knew that God was protecting them, that God had taken them out of the city, yet their trust level still hadn't developed. And it's a strange thing that the Bible tells stories like this. It's not just the good news, it's actual reality. Warts and all, as sometimes we call it. And that is an encouragement to me, because then when I come to the New Testament and I find the teachings of Jesus, I find the teachings of Paul, and they look back and they see Lot not as a failure, but as a man of faith who made mistakes, who God could still use to create two great nations. And if the Bible can recount that story of Lot, can recount those mistakes and still see him, and if you're here in Jordan today, whatever your religious background, you regard Lot as a prophet. If the Bible can regard him in that light, if God can see him in that light, then surely there's some assurance for me that equally, even though I make mistakes, God has a future and a promise and a love and a forgiveness for me.